As the 5 Brics countries, we have reached agreement on the guiding principles, standards, criteria, and procedures of the Brics expansion process, which has been in discussion for quite a while. We have consensus on the first phase of this expansion process, and other phases will follow. We have decided to invite the Argentine Republic, the Arab Republic of Egypt, the Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia, the Islamic Republic of Iran, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, and the United Arab Emirates to become full members of Brics. The membership will take effect from the 1st of January 2024.
Hello, welcome back to Tuntum Network, ladies and gentlemen. This is a beautiful day the Lord has made. I'm so excited, and I'm going to tell you the reasons why I'm excited so much. This is Cyrus, this is Tuntum Network, and this is day three of the Brics Summit happening in South Africa. It's been an absolutely beautiful morning, and I'm watching it on television. I'm like, wow, this is exciting times. I could never believe this will happen in my generation. Okay, so the biggest news everywhere today is Brics expansion is finally here. It is finally here. Ladies and gentlemen, Brics is expanding. It's getting more than the 5. You know, we have Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. Now they are going to add 6 more countries. So if you watch the video I started with, that was President Ramaphosa, whom I am applauding so much for the tremendous job that he has done. He was announcing the 6 member countries that have been added and will become full members by January 2024. That will be next year. And remember that summit will be held in Russia. We'll be here to give you the gist as pertaining to the continent of Africa. Wow. So in there, President Cyril Ramaphosa mentions the 6 countries that have been added or invited into the Brics family. It starts off with Argentina. Argentina is in Southern American continent. And then in Egypt, in Africa, we have Ethiopia. Yes, Ethiopia from Africa. We have Saudi Arabia from the Middle East. We have the UAE, the United Arab Emirates, also in the Middle East. And guess who is also added to it? Iran. Yes, Iran is on board. Iran is joining the Brics family. So now it's no more going to be 5 countries by January next year. It's going to be 5 plus 6, making it 11. Wow. I never thought I would see this in my lifetime. Now, like I always want to bring you to speak pertaining the things that are of interest to the African continent. I don't want to go helter-skelter talking about all the benefits or the other countries that are coming on board. You know, that is not my priority here. I'll be delving into the 2 African countries that have been added to Brics, Egypt and Ethiopia. Now, assuming that full membership by January 2021 comes to effect, that means by next year, January, for the first time in my life, such a big group will be formed and there will be no Western country in it. I mean, think about this. This is where I got shocked. The first time something is being done outside of the West, outside of the USA. I love USA. I love that country so much. Outside of Canada, outside of the whole European Union, a whole new block. And this is so powerful looking at the countries that are involved. And without the USA, without the EU, wow. Now, look at the demography of what is happening here. So, Brics have invited Egypt and Ethiopia. So, I took keen interest in doing a little bit research of these 2 countries that have been added. Remember that at this point, Asia will have 2 countries. That is India and China. And the Middle East will have 3 countries, Iran, UAE, and Saudi Arabia. I don't know if Iran is in the UAE, is in the Middle East or not. But these are all Arab countries or Muslim countries. They will be part of the BRICS family, which is a great, great thing. And I'll give you the reasons why. So they are 3, and then Asia is 2, and then we have Southern America having 2, Brazil, and then Argentina. And on we go. For the first time, no Western country, no Australia, no Europe, no America, and off we go. Now, let me focus on the 2 countries in Africa that, I care about the most. I'll start off with Ethiopia. It's a very big country. It's a very, very, very big country. An ancient country with 120 million people. Think about that, 120 million people. And it has a GDP of about $135 billion. Wow. Bringing it to the table. And then we go to Egypt. Egypt, with a population of over 110 million people and a $475 billion in GDP. So Ethiopia is the giant of the East Africa, and Egypt is the giant of the North Africa. And so you have the giant of East Africa, giant of North Africa, giant of Southern Africa. Then my mind is, the next place they should be going is in West Africa, and that should be the giant of West Africa. Okay, this is where it becomes political, because Ghana is here, but I know that Nigeria is bigger. Nigeria is bigger in terms of everything. So they are coming to West Africa. Definitely they are coming to West Africa. Without any bias in my speech, I would say this. In as much as I am a Ghanaian to the core, there is no way you overlook Nigeria and come to Ghana. No, it doesn't happen like this. So they will be bringing Nigeria, which I'm so excited because I love Nigeria. I have a lot of Nigerian friends. They will be bringing Nigeria on board. Nigeria comes to the table with 214 million people as in population to the table. The most populated African country. So many people living there. And then with their GDP of $451 billion. Wow. Well, I'll be so happy the day Nigeria becomes a member of the BRICS bloc. I'll be so happy. Okay, let's keep going. I don't want to get too excited and overlook certain pointers, okay? If you look carefully enough, the BRICS are strategically adding nations with influence in their regions. So South Africa sort of is the big boy, the big brother in Southern Africa. So you can understand why. And Ethiopia and Egypt. And if they take Nigeria, then you can understand how their influence is in their respective regions. Moving forward, BRICS, judging just from resources point of view, okay? Only from resources point of view, BRICS will now have major oil giants as members. You are speaking of Russia. You are speaking of UAE. You are speaking of Saudi Arabia and Iran and Nigeria. These are major oil producers. So they are going to have these major oil producers as members. And then they are going to have the numbers in terms of population and the influence and technology and manufacturing. All these will be working in the benefit of the BRICS bloc. I'm so excited for this. What is left at this point is the new development bank, how it's going to play out. Because already the new development bank is there. And once that is concluded, in terms of the currency they are going to use, or whether they are going to use their local currencies to do the trading, once that is concluded, 5 things will instantly emerge from it. Now, the first thing I anticipate will emerge from when the new development bank is totally positioned to oversee all tradings among these member nations is this. They will now have to trade through the new development bank. So that will mean they are moving away totally from all the major banks of the West. if you look at the top 100 banks in the world, you see a lot of banks coming from the West. But at the same time, you have a lot of banks coming from Asia, in China, in Japan, and in Russia, and in India also. So they will be operating through their own banks and through their own satellite, which is the number 2 on my pointer. Number 1 is their own banks. They will have their own satellite for communication purposes. Wow. And have access to their own oil, which is the third thing. These are major things that control the world. If you can control your banks, if you can control your communication, and if you can control your oil, you literally have control over your life as a nation. And then the fourth thing, they'll have control over manufacturing and technology. Manufacturing and technology in 4 major countries. We are looking at Russia, India, China, and Brazil, and even South Africa. Okay, so all these things will be playing out in the favor of the BRIC nations. And finally, the most important out of them is when they get their own currency. So these 5 major things are bound to happen the moment the new development bank situation is clearly sorted out. I don't know if from next year we'll be seeing these banks around Africa. I don't know if I'll travel to South Africa and see the new development bank, a branch of it in South Africa, okay, or hopefully in Nigeria, okay, so that if we have to trade with a Chinese company, for instance, if you want to trade with an Indian company and I have an account with a new development bank, I don't know if that is how it's going to work. If I have an account with a new development bank, then I don't need to go get the dollar. I can easily straight away trade using either my local currency, the Ghana cedi, or get the new development bank or the Brics currency. Whichever way it goes, we are all looking out for it. But I'll tell you this. During the meeting, during the discussion today, they mentioned that they have commissioned the finance ministers of respective countries to now sit and find ways and means to get this sorted in terms of the currency, whether they are going with a single currency or individual local currencies, whichever way. We are all for it. We are all for it. This is good news, ladies and gentlemen. This is good news. And I like the fact that all this will be done just strictly business-wise, okay? I hope this will be done without any strings attached, as in how the West will come deal with you, and then they are bringing in all manner of clauses. If you don't do this, and I won't do that. If you do this, and I can't do this. If you don't accept that, and you can't have access to this. I hope at this point in time, all these gimmicks, all these gimmicks will be out of the way, so that we are just doing our business and then everybody goes home. No strings attached. No big brother controlling small brother. Nobody ordering anybody around as if we don't know what is good for us. Okay? This is one of the good reasons why I'm in full support of this. And I was watching how they allowed the former president of Brazil, who is now the president of the new development bank, okay, Miss Dilma Rousseff, to address the BRICS nations on their strategic plans on how to move the new development bank forward. And they also invited Mr. Solomon Quaino, okay, to also address the BRICS nations. He is the vice president of the African Development Bank. So clearly you could see that their focus is now being narrowed. When it started, we were not sure where everything was going. But as of today, I have a clear understanding of where they are going. They are bringing on new countries. They are directing their finance ministers to now look into how to get this work out in terms of moving money and trade around. Because it takes time. Honestly, it will take time for these countries to sort of sort out all the balance of monies and the exchange rates and whichever way they will do it. All I want to see is this, that at the end of the day, Africa is benefiting. Africa can now trade and get value for money. Africa can now do business with no strings attached. Africa will have the option of choosing whoever to deal with, okay, and not be restricted and say, no, you can't do this, you can't go there. No, we can only give you this at this rate. No. It is at this point an even playing field. Thank God it is an even playing field. So today's summit has been generally successful. In fact, since they started, it has been generally successful. And so let's take a look at this, where President Xi Jinping and President Putin and President Cyril Ramaphosa and Prime Minister Modi are congratulating all the new members into the fold. Let's take a look at them.
15th anniversary of Brics, we have taken the important decision to expand it. As I had said yesterday, India has always fully supported the expansion of Brics membership. India has always believed that the addition of new members will further strengthen Brics as an organization, and it will give our shared efforts a new impetus.
I would like to congratulate new Brics members on the full membership. They will assume their membership next year. Let me assure all of the colleagues that we will keep up with the work that we have launched to expand Brics' influence in the world.
This membership expansion is historic. It shows the determination of Brics countries for unity and cooperation with the broader developing countries. It meets the expectation of the international community and the common interests of emerging market countries and developing countries.
So clearly, if you look at what they are saying there, they are excited to have these new countries on board, which is a good and exciting time. Hopefully, they are coming to West Africa quick enough. We want to have them here. We want to have them here. Whether Nigeria, whether Ghana, whether Cote d'Ivoire, I don't know. But we want to have them here. And hopefully, Ghana gets a slot in there. And that is how I am saying it. I'm not being biased. I'm a Ghanaian, and I pray for my country to get a slot in there. I am so happy to come your way again and be bringing you up to speed with things coming out of the Brics Summit that are relevant to the continent of Africa. Remember to be a subscriber to my channel. We want to hit the 1,000 mark subscription. Please, please, please help us out. Okay? I have a lot of subscribers, and I'm so happy for that already. And I'm also urging new people who watch my podcast to please hit that notification bell, hit that subscription bell, and then get us going to the 1,000 mark. All right? We want to bring things that are relevant to this continent. We want to push the agenda forward. There are so many things we are talking on this podcast. We are talking about politics. We are talking about business. We are talking about lifestyle. And we are talking also about religion. Okay? So don't be surprised when you see me talk about religion as well. So thank you so much for being a part of this program and this podcast. And hopefully we see what will come next by the end of tomorrow, which I will come your way again with another episode. Until then, God bless you. Stay alive. Good things are happening in Africa. Be excited as a youth. Get yourself together. All right? Get connected. Move around. Africa should come to the point where we can all move around freely without borders in this continent. Freely without borders in this continent. Where movement will be free. No barriers, no visa, nothing. Trust me, I'm bringing that topic. It is something on my heart. And when I mention a few friends who say, no, we don't want that here. Listen, you don't know the advantages of that. It's a new episode I'm bringing. And hopefully you stay tuned, you subscribe, and to hear me give you my opinion on that. God bless you. I'll come your way again. It's bye-bye for now.